Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I will show you how to integrate OpenAI's GPT-3.5 model with the OpenAI Evals framework. So OpenAI has recently open sourced their Evals framework. So in this tutorial we will take one use case. We will be using the model to generate SQL queries and evaluate its performance by comparing the generated answer against the ideal answer. Okay, let's see the use case first. So here we have one prompt which is given some schemas, table schemas, for example car makers, this is called continents, car names. So based on that we ask one question to the LLM. What is the, it can be any SQL question. So it is, what is the average MPG for cars made in Japan? Now the business has some ideal answer which is already given to us. Our job is to use LLM model and create a response out of this prompt and then match with this ideal answer. So in order to do this, we'll use the OpenAI Evals framework. Now we'll see the custom completion method. So this is the OpenAI completion function which we have to register in Evals, OpenAI Evals library. Now here this class GPT-3.5 turbo completion function, it can be anything which helps us to generate the answer of the given prompt, which is in our case is to SQL queries, and based on that will generate some answer. Now this is inherit this method called class called completion function, which is the part of Evals API. So we need to install these particular libraries first. So we have this requirement txt where we'll install these OpenAI Evals first. Now here we will talk about this particular function, this call function, which is a part of this completion function. We are overriding this call function so that we use our LLM model here. This function sends a prompt to OpenAI's GPT-3.5 and returns the model SQL query. We handle any API errors and logs the completion for evaluation. The next step is to evaluate these queries against the ideal answer. Now once the class is created, we have to register somewhere. So we created one folder called completion function. Now here we have YAML file. It's time to register our custom completion function in OpenAI Evals and define our evaluation task. So this is the custom function we have made it. This is the particular class, and whatever arguments you want to pass over there, you just pass it here. So here in this call function we have all kind of arguments are there. It will take from these YAML file and will take it. So this is the one YAML file we created. Now we have to provide the data, the evals data somewhere, right? So that is also going to through YAML file. So we'll create one file called spidersql.yml. Here we have this ID, this name, and then there is ID, and what kind of accuracy we want to measure. So basic accuracy we want to take, we want to see it. Then the description, disclaimer, those things are optional, but putting this will give you readability to the developer or anyone who is going to use this particular framework. Now this ID needs to be registered which kind of accuracy measurement you want to do. So if you go into the OpenAI Evals library, let's go to the Evals. Here in EL suite you will find different type of accuracy measures. So there is a basic one. Basic one is just you just want to match the simple answer. Let's suppose 2 plus 2 is 4. So you are just matching if it is having the 4 or not, or any kind of classification where we have, let's suppose sentiment classification, negative or positive. So there are some fixed answers of it. The basic match will work in that case. But if you generated something, you infer something or some reasoning, you given kind of prompts or problem statement, then in that case you will be using the model graded one. This is the one, and this is the beauty of this particular library. So here I am using this ELSUIT model graded classify model based classification. This is the particular class we'll provide here. Otherwise, for the basic match, we'll use this ELSUIT dot basic match. I will provide that particular text which the class which you want to refer in the basic case. Now in the arguments will pass the evals data location. So this is the spider sql.jsonl. I put in the SQL folder. These are the particular data we have. There are prompts, then there is an ideal answer against which we want to match it using the model graded approach. And the LLM which helps out is the GPT-3.5 as we discussed. Now you get it, what are the important inputs we have. This is spider SQL JSONL. This is the YAML where we provide all kind of input files and the what kind of accuracy we want to use it, what matrix we want to use, all kind of stuffs. Now third is the completion function. So we'll create a Python file where we have this completion function inherited class where we can configure any kind of models, but in order to register this we need to put into the YAML file. So this is the YAML file where we provide the class which we want to refer, the customized one. Now everything is ready. We have to run this particular library. So there are two things which requires to run this library. I have made those steps. First is to set up the Python path. So it will look up for the YAML location where the completion function is this particular YAML is available. So it is in the completion function. So we have to append this particular Python path in Python path. Okay, we'll execute this, and in case of Windows it will be set command instead of export command. We can automate as well this one by putting these instructions in some Python file. Let's export OpenAI key as well, which is also required. Now there is a one minute issue in this particular OpenAI Evals library. In any case you have to import this OpenAI API key. So it can be dummy as well. It doesn't require to be authenticated as well, authenticated one. But here if you are using any models, so you have to pass the valid key. Let's suppose you are using Llama 3.1. So in that case you don't need to pass this API key, right, or API base. It will also work without these as well. Accordingly we'll change those parameters and we'll customize this particular class. We'll use a Llama 3.1, whatever required for that. The way of calling is different in case of that. So you know it, right, how to deal with this to change any LLM model here. Now these two things once imported, we'll use this command. Now let's look up at this command. This is OAI eval. This is the utility name. Once you install this evals library, this one, then you have this particular utility in your system. Now this is the completion function. You will provide the name. So the YAML, whatever the name is there, this is my completion function, which you need to be the same here as well. Okay, then there is a task which you want to perform, that needs to be some YAML. So this is again the different the second YAML, not this one. This is the one which we already discussed. Here we given the path of the evals data, the type of classification we want to do, what kind of class we are using, if it is a basic one or model based one. So I would recommend to use the model based one, but it also depends on the task, what kind of task you want to perform. So it's a text generation, so it should be model based. Matrix accuracy. So this is the thing. Now we have to register that path as well. So we are providing this particular project's path that you have to like store all kind of files, variables into the OpenAI's evals memory. So this is the argument you will pass at the end. Now once you enter it, it will be running. So there were 5 use cases available in this particular JSON. If you see, there are total 5 use cases, and this is the accuracy. So you can see the accuracy is 0.8, means 80%. So there are 4 was correct, 1 was incorrect. So in order to get the good LLM accuracy, you need to have at least like 200-250 examples, so that you can actually verify your particular model. In our case, it's GPT 3.5. Thanks for watching the video.